If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
Have you guys closed the door on Tom coming back? Is that
Oh, that door's never closed. Whenever Tom wants it back, he's back.
But so how do you plan for the offseason though? You know, like do you?
Yeah, you just go on because I think if Tom comes back, we'll have plenty of money for him.
Have you completely closed the door on a possible Tom Brady return?
No, I think with a Tom Brady, I personally never want to completely close the door. Now, I don't have any information that suggests that he is going to come back. I mean, I'm very good friends with him. We talk. We haven't talked about that. I don't want to apply any pressure, but in that regard, right now. But he's Tom Brady. If a Tom Brady wants to come back, we'd welcome him back.
How difficult would that be financially for you guys? Would you be able to plan and carry out the offseason that you want, knowing that he might?
It just depends. We have a little time here before free agency hits. Depends on what we do in free agency. I'm not saying that we're by any means we're planning on this happening. I just made a remark this morning that we'll leave a light on for him.
So what if Tom Brady comes to you and says, "Hey, I'd like to finish out my career with another team"? Will you grant his wishes or anything like that?
Well, that hasn't happened, so it's a hypothetical. So.
How about Rob Gronkowski? Have you heard anything from him about returning to the team, or is he potentially moving on or retiring at this point?
We'll be talking to Rob's agent here. I think Rob just want a little time to think about his future. But once again, he's another great player at his position. So would be excited if he did want to come back.
If Tom says he wants to come back and play for another team, do you envision like kind of granting him his wish or whatever?
No.
Is that because it's acrimonious? You just don't want him?
Bad business.
Yeah.
Bruce, I know you said it'd be bad business to trade Tom or to grant him that request if he did request it. But what if a team made it worth your while?
5 number ones? Maybe.
So it wouldn't tug on your heartstrings at all to do a solid for a guy, that came and played for you guys for 2 years?
Not at all.
No emotional attachment, that kind of thing.
We'll play golf. If I beat him, he has to come back.
He was only with you guys for 2 years, but how would you kind of sum up the 2-year Tom Brady experience for you guys?
Probably as good as you can get. Super Bowl and 42 seconds from a championship game. I mean, more wins in franchise history. So, but it was more than that. Just a great guy and great relationship with his teammates and the coaching staff. He's the ultimate competitor.
A lot of people might view your division as wide open right now with Tom retiring. Do you still view it as the Bucs division, since you guys have dominated it for the last couple of years?
Yeah, we only won it once, but Saints still have that defense. Matt Ryan is still in Atlanta, but I think it's going to be wide open. But I like our chances for sure with our defense. Nobody wants to talk about our defense, but they're not bad.
What has it been like the last 2 years, just to have Tom Brady come in and kind of transform you? Like, what's this experience been like for you?
Well, I had some experience with him in New England, so maybe I wasn't quite as wide-eyed as some of the people around the building. But it's been fantastic. It became normalized to talk to him every day and be a part of what we were doing and just talk to him on the field about anything and everything. He's a special player, special person, and it's hard to say that we'll ever come across another Tom Brady.
Barring going a different route that is not Tom Brady, what does a Bruce Arians quarterback need to have?
Grit. I mean, he's got to be tough and a leader. A guy that the team will follow, and he's got to know what the hell he's doing. I mean, he cannot turn the ball over.
Jason, how unexpected was it
on the other hand, have an opportunity
for Tom to retire, just given his level of play last season?
Well, when we signed Tom 2 years ago, none of us knew how long it would be, and if it was 1 year, 2 years, I was hoping until he was 50. But no one really knew, and so not really a total shocking surprise when he's the type that evaluates everything, continues to evaluate everything, and he literally went out on top if he did in fact retire. So we just never took advantage of the days that we had with him and never took them for granted.
Jason talked about leadership as far as something that he values now in a quarterback after seeing what Tom Brady's been able to do. Does Blaine have the ability to step up and take?
Yeah, I think he's got all the respect in the locker room. You know, they saw him help Tom, and he's helped each and every one of those guys on offense and some on defense. He's got a great relationship in that locker room. And I think they also see what Kyle can do, you know, and what he's got going forward.
I think one thing that doesn't get talked about enough, and just because we have seen the best for the last couple of years, is the leadership that a quarterback has and how important that is, how his teammates feel about him and how they want to work for him and how he gets the best out of his players. He doesn't have to be the most talented, doesn't have to have the strongest arm. He does need to be smart, and he does need to be a true leader in order to get the best out and elevate his teammates. And that's hard to gauge.
Coach, without Tom Brady, do you see yourself getting even 10% more involved in the offense?
Not really. I mean, our offense has kind of been there for 20 years when Byron was playing in it. So we can do so many different things. It's really who the players are. And once we get the players, we'll build it around them.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day.